Game over. YouTuber formerly known as Master Boy 666, the Omega, the Symbol, the Performer. Welcome to the channel. So today we got another reaction video today. Title of this video: Woman begs women to not get married. This is embarrassing. And shout outs to River TV, baby girl River. I see you out there, you know what I'm saying, fighting a good fight. We're going to react to the video, see what's going on here. Chances are we're going to be reacting to, you know, a chick that's telling these women the wrong advice that is consumed by the Garden of Insanity. So we're going to get right into it. Let's do it.
Getting married. You should avoid having children. Marriage benefits men, and having children benefits the patriarchy. Please just think very long and hard before you enter these contracts.
So, from that little piece right there about this lady, which I guess right, she is consumed by the Garden of Insanity. She's talking like she ain't got no sense. She's talking like she don't like the dynamics of relationships between men and women, the natural order of things. But yeah, let's ride out.
Now, I was going through the wonderful world of TikTok per usual, and I saw this video, and I just couldn't believe it. Okay, actually, I could believe it, but I was like, I have to bring it to you guys so we can watch it together. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not even going to explain anything. I'm going to press play and give you guys my thoughts.
Once again, for those of you that are new to this channel, all I'm doing is spreading awareness as I react to certain stuff on this channel and give y'all solutions. But you should already know the solutions already on your own. You know, don't really listen to me, really. You should already know the solutions and also for men out there, you know, for the guys out there, of women that you should avoid at all costs and get with women that you need to be with. You know, that's going to hold you down. That's going to be your support system, the whole 9 yards. That likes you for you. But yeah, we gonna let baby girl River cook this woman because I know she is. And let's get right into the video. Let's get it.
As we watch it together.
This is my scolding hot take, and you're either going to be ready to hear this or you're not going to be. Women historically have been slaves. I understand there's different forms of slavery, but women, in the true definition of the word, have been enslaved. Marriage was the act of making women property. Marriage was the way of exchanging women as property. Marriage was the property transfer of a woman between her father and her husband. Regardless of how you feel about it, that's the fact. That was the original purpose of marriage as a construct. The reason why you see divorce rates rise is because women finally have agency over whether or not we stay in these marriages. The reason why you're seeing marriage rates and birth rates decline is because for the first time in human history, women have had more agency than we've ever had on whether or not we get married in the first place and whether or not we decide to have children.
I want to say this, right? I'm going to let her talk. Okay, I'm going to let her talk because she had a lot to say. But the first thing I want to say is that, first of all, women and men not getting married right now, in my personal opinion, don't believe that's because of women having the ability to decide that they don't want to be married. I believe it's because for the first time, men have decided, you know what? My resources, my protection, my, you know, all the things that I offer in a marriage and in a relationship, I am going to hold it close to me because men have seen over all this span of time what happens when the woman gets bored, when she decides she just doesn't want to do it anymore, when she no longer wants to put in the work, and how much men lose after being in marriages for a long period of time. That's why
Correct. I say that all the time as well. Men have more to lose. We put in the work in. You know, we're not coddled in society. We have to make our mark. You know, and we struggle and we put our blood, sweat, and tears in doing so. Women, on the other hand, don't have to. But you got these women out here thinking they are men and they're bigger than men because they can do what we can do. But they have an easier route. They have easier routes to achieve what they want in life compared to men. You know, cooking. She cooking for sure. Let's ride out.
Think that the marriage rate has changed. Okay, that's the only difference that we've seen. Women have always gotten married. Women have always been in relationships. Women have always wanted to be proposed to. You know, women have always followed the dynamics of the romantic comedies or the Disney movies or whatever, the fairy tale lifestyle. Women have always done that. However, women always get into those situations and then decide, oh, wait, change my mind. Or they don't realize that they're preparing themselves for the wedding, but not the marriage itself. So, but let her continue.
There is a reason why women have been socially conditioned into believing that if we don't have children, or if we're not married, or a man didn't choose us, that's like the biggest insult to our identity or our value as human beings. I personally disagree with the entire construct of marriage. I believe that marriage signifies the ownership of...
I'm getting divorce lawyer vibes from her. I'm getting divorce lawyer vibes from her, man. Cause she out here talking like, pretty much disobeying the concepts from God. And that's what a lot of people are doing, man. They don't have the concepts, from God within them. They don't follow it. Let's ride out.
Of women, and I disagree with it as a concept as a whole.
This is my problem when like these feminists come out and talk, right? It's the fact that everything is victimizing the woman, right? All of the ideas that she's bringing forth, this is her opinion. All of the opinions that she's bringing forth are only victimizing women and not thinking about the entire structure of everything, right? You're saying that, it's ownership from the father to the new man, right? But how about the fact that women are able and capable of acting as children if they so choose to, because there's always going to be somebody else that's supposed to be the higher responsibility for them, right? So the woman goes from being under the regime of her father, her mother, her parents, to now being under the regime of a man who, at the end of the day, is supposed to, protect her, again, lead her, guide her, do all of these things for her as a parent should, right? And then, we're talking about ownership. A woman gets married to a man. He is not allowed, to go out there, go look at nobody else, be intimate with anybody else, talk to any other girls. The ownership is for technically both of them, right? She belongs to him and he belongs to her. Now, I, in my opinion, see it very differently. When a man is married to a woman, she is his responsibility. Okay? And I think that's this is just my opinion. I think that's a privilege that somebody out there is responsible for you, being the weaker vessel.
And if you're not new to my page, you know that I have no intention of ever getting married. I relish in the idea of being single. I do not want to have any children. And I relish in the idea that for the first time, I'm one of the first generations of women who have the freedom to not participate in any of those things.
You have the freedom to not participate in any of those things because, if your mother had that idea, you wouldn't be here. If your grandmother had that idea, you wouldn't be here. So it's a contradiction to me, because what you're so happy to relish in is based off of other people, doing things to make sure that you were able to be here, of following the guidelines of procreating so that you can have life. Like, it's a contradiction. It's a necessary part of life. If you want, human beings to still be here, then people have to be born.
So to me, not only is it not an insult to my identity and does not dictate my worthiness as a human being, it is a privilege that I get to choose not to get married. It is a privilege that I get to choose not to have children. And I believe that as a woman, you should avoid getting married. You should avoid having children. I think if you are even remotely on the fence about any of those concepts, you need to avoid it.
Again, okay, women keep women single. This is just a different angle. I don't even want to go into the fact that this woman who does have privilege, I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys, is relating marriage to slavery. That's already one thing. But then my other issue is that, it's her privilege to not have to choose to be married. Again, other societies, other cultures would say that they wish that they had more of an influence to be married again. But also, you have already come to terms with whatever situation for yourself. You already know you can't get no man. Okay? You don't gotta fake the funk with me. Okay? You don't gotta fake the funk with me. You can't get no man. You can't keep or maintain a relationship because of your ideology and your pattern of thinking.
That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is. Like, ain't no man gonna take her seriously like that. Because she's unbearable. She seemed like she's unbearable. I don't even know the chick from Can of Paint, but she seemed like she's unbearable as how she present herself on the internet. Like I said, keep the mics on. Keep the mics on. Let these types of women expose themselves on the internet. Keep the microphone on. And hey, these are the type of women you should avoid. Like, I'm pretty sure, the men out there watching, you probably, want to get married and one day have kids to the right woman, right? She don't even fit your criteria at all. The game is over before you even started. No continues. Let's ride out.
So now you on TikTok begging women to join you in the camp of forever singledom in hopes that you will have company within your misery. That's that foolishness I can't take. I can't take it. You are telling women. Now, this is the problem I have, right? Women be on TikTok and they scrolling. Maybe they just had an argument with their husband, or maybe they're going through a tough time, a rough patch in a relationship. And here they have these women begging them with, oh, these are facts. Oh, this is the situation that you're in. Oh, you should never do this. And again, trying to bring them onto the side of, I can't get no man, so even though you can get one, just leave him and come over here with me. It's toxic. It's brainwashing.
Marriage benefits men, and having children benefits the patriarch.
Like, what's the benefits of joining this sisterhood, y'all so-called? What's the benefit in that? You know what I'm saying? We saw that firsthand, on this Breakfast Club incident of Jess Hilarious and Lauren. The sisterhood doesn't exist. The only time it exists if they bashing the same men that they don't agree with. And that's about as far as it goes. But in the minds of some of these women, most of them, they're in competition with one another. Because some chick gonna get jealous of the other chick, especially if they're trying to get a man that they desire. It's a show. But yeah, let's ride out.
I think that marriage does have protections for women who do want to have children, or for women who are with a partner who's great. There are legal protections around that marriage works in favor for. But as a general concept, I think marriage represents the enslavement of women.
What that song say? What's that Britney Spears song? I'm a slave. If marriage represents the enslavement of women, I know Mary said, take the shackles off my feet, but put them back on. Okay? Put the shackles on my feet so I could dance. Okay? The only women who look at relationships or marriages with this lens are women who have not experienced the amazing relationship and love from an amazing man. I got to be honest with you. They either have only been sneaky links, never had a man take them serious, or so stuck up in their head that they're the ones who ruin every relationship they've ever been with, and never got to fully indulge and experience the balance of a healthy relationship between man and woman. It is such an amazing and beautiful thing. Okay? We can go through all the benefits of what it is as a woman to be in a relationship with a man who loves you, who cares for you, who you can confide in, who you can trust, who is willing to go to bat for you, who will protect you, who will tell you when you're wrong so it can help you be self-reflective, help you grow to be the best version of yourself. A woman with a good man glows differently. Okay? There is a shine and a sparkle on her that is unmatched. I just got to keep it real with you. The fact that, women are flow by nature, chaos by nature, and you have somebody that can gather you together real quick in an instant, organize all of the messy thoughts that you have in your brain and just get them in line with just a simple conversation. Easily. Like it's nothing to them. Because they see beyond that, because men are, hardwired to be logical beings. So when you come to your emotions, they can logically organize them for you and set you on your way. There's too many benefits. When the two collide, okay, when that masculine and that feminine collide, it is such a beautiful thing to witness. And in my opinion, the only people who talk bad against it are people who are bitter, scorn, or people who have never experienced it and are in a position that they know that they won't ever be able to. That's the truth.
I think marriage represents, and this is just the way it is. This isn't my opinion. This is what it's been historically.
This is your opinion.
Marriage represents the ownership of property that is women.
Own me, baby. Own me. Remember that? You guys remember that My Wife and Kids episode where Cat Williams was on there and he was like, I own you. I own you. I have to try to find a clip so I can insert it.
I own you, big head. I own you. Forget what he said. I own you. I own you. I own you.
That's exactly what this reminds me of.
Marriage is a huge deal. And especially as a woman, if you are at all on the fence about getting married, you need to not get married. The soft life. They're not doing anything with your life. Not making your own money. You need to make your own money. That is a privilege. That is a blessing that you live in a time where you can make your own money.
Now, this is the thing. If you're on the fence about being married as a woman, I think that you need to get around happily married people. Right? Marriages, and when I say happily, I don't mean the Instagram happy. I mean that you are around them, and when you're around them, you don't see any secret animosity between the two of them. The man don't look miserable. The woman doesn't look miserable. I think that you need to get around people who've been married, and not just married, but married for quite a while, and witness the dynamics of the two and ask them the hard questions. Because
They won't. They want a group of friends that are miserable just like them. See, I surround myself with people, as a man, from a man's perspective, I surround myself with people that have great homes, that's happily married, that has things going on for themselves, family oriented, and and I have the mindset where, hey, there is hope out there. Hey, me personally, I might find somebody, you know what I'm saying, throughout all the bad, You can't just keep constantly, looking in the bad. Just, look in the good too. You know what I'm saying? That there's some hope there. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand that some men is like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. You know what I mean? I get it. But you got to find yourself that in lines with you. And when you do, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Cause it's hard to find, somebody that's down for you these days. I get it. Let's ride out.
Because sometimes you might be in your own head thinking, creating this whole mountain that's not even realistic, right? It's just the land of possibilities. It's not even like an option of what's going to come up within the marriage. That's my opinion. Also, I think that women do have the options to make their own money, right? And that is it's a privilege for anybody, especially in this economy, to be able to make their own money, right? I completely get that. However, there are situations where women are relying solely on their husbands, and I also don't see anything wrong with that because they have created a family unit and a family structure, and it's worked. For many of years, yes, there are faulty situations where things didn't go the way that the women thought it was going to go, and then they have to pick up the pieces on their own. But again, she already talked about all the clauses in marriage, so I don't understand that.
And you can make something out of your own life. Do not trade this privilege that women have fought for a G-Wagon.
Also disrespectful, she said, make something out of your own life. Some women's idea of making something out of their life is being an active mother. Right? I'm 100% going to be there with my kids every step of the way, make sure that I'm in charge of their nutrition, what they're eating, what they're learning. That is making something out of their life. And that's what a lot of these feminists do. They talk about they support all women. They're all there for women. But when women make the choice to choose to be in marriages and be in long-term relationships and be a stay-at-home wife and be, a homeschool mother for their children and be there to serve their husbands, it's a problem. All of a sudden, they're upset with these women because they're not taking advantage of the benefits of where we are in the world. It's stupid.
Or for trips to Erewhon. You are worth so much more than that. Your life is worth so much more than that. You live in a time unlike any other in human history. There are women before you who would have given anything to be able to have the opportunities that you have today. They would have given anything. If you marry a rich man, your life will be controlled by him. Your quality of life is going to be dictated by that man. Your relationship may look a certain way today, but it could be very different 10 years from now. It could be very different after you have 4 of his children. It's not worth the Chanel bags. It's not worth the Cartier bracelets. It's not worth the fancy vacations. This is your one life.
This is what I like to call this is what the act of grouping things together to involve a plethora of women and a plethora of conversations just to get people to agree with her point. People shouldn't get married, this, that. Now you're talking about G-Wagons. Now you're talking about purses. Now you're talking about, don't marry a high value man. Don't, you're going all over the place. Okay. All over the place. Again, just to get women together, different types of women to agree with her point and to side with her so that they don't get married. Because she doesn't want to and she can't.
This is your independence. This is your autonomy. Please just think very long and hard before you enter these contracts, because getting out of marriage, going through a divorce is a grueling process. Co-parenting with somebody who is being difficult, who is trying to control you, is a all-consuming process. Again,
the woman is always a victim. Women are the ones who file for divorce. Okay, majority of the time. Women are there's a saying, bitter baby mamas. Yes, bitter baby daddies is a thing. I'm not going to act like that's not a thing. It is a thing. But that's not the majority. Majority of the time, it's the bitter baby mama situation, right? So here you are saying, it's going to be hard for you if you leave and you have children with this man and this and that. What are you talking about? Like, you are just making everything seem like the worst and acting like both parties don't have the trouble. Going through a divorce is a grueling process. And you know who normally gets the brunt of that situation? The man. Going through a child support or child custody case is a horrible situation. You know who usually gets the brunt of that? The man.
You need to really understand what you're signing up for when you do that. This is not something that you do unless you are absolutely sure. Again, it's super nuanced and there are legal protections that work in women's favor when it comes to marriage. But if I were to give you any kind of advice, avoid getting married, make your own money, do your own thing with your life. Do not put all your eggs in the basket of a man. Because once you get married and once you have those children, everything is different. You do not have that same freedom anymore. You will not have that same opportunity anymore. You can still make it happen. And there are women who their children are like the best thing. That's like, I totally understand. I respect that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be very hard and it's going to be very different. Being single and childless is a fucking flex. Okay? It is. It's much better than being in a grueling divorce, being in an unhappy marriage, being controlled by a man, or having to co-parent with someone.
So every relationship, from her take, every relationship is the worst. Everything ends in disaster. There's some women who have the job, have the career, they're single, they can buy whatever they want. They buy their own, Birkin bag, own Chanel bags. They're traveling the world. They're single and, they think it's a flex like that this woman says it is. And they're miserable inside. Because they don't have the husband and because they don't have that fulfillment of having their own children. And while they're young, it sounded great. And then they get older and then it's a harder process for them. Then they have different prospects as well because they were young. And when they were in their prime of getting into a relationship, they prioritized all the other things because of women like this talking about it's not a flex to be married and have kids. And then what's the situation after that? Again, misery. While those women are crying miserable because they have no husband and no kids, where is this woman going to be to help you pick up the pieces? In her misery too.
Please just take this seriously.
Don't take it seriously. Okay? Do not take this woman's information seriously. Take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. If you want to have children, go around some people that have children. Ask them the hard things, ask them the tough things, ask them how they feel, and then make informed decisions. If you want to be a wife, go around married people that, again, don't look like they can't stand each other. And then make an informed decision. It's quite simple. Quite simple. I don't agree with, this woman getting on TikTok, like I said, and begging women not to get married. I don't understand it. If you're so happy and you're so fulfilled and you feel so, you would be fine with whatever everybody else is doing. You'd be like, well, this will be your situation, but I'm happy with myself. It sounds like you have something to prove. That's just my opinion. This is the same way how feminism went into other communities and influenced them to join them. It was women like this woman. I was gonna keep it real. Women just like her that went to other women. It was like, aren't you miserable? And the woman's like, well, not really. Yes, you are. This is horrible. This is exactly how it occurred. This was the domino effect. Women that look just like her.
Again, shout outs to Revo TV. She cooked. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? In the comments, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new, if you know what I'm saying, want to see more of me. You know what I'm saying? I do a variety of videos here. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.